Here are 4 ways INTPs outsmart everyone without even trying. Number 1. They outsmart rules and break them creatively. INTPs have an inherent distrust of conventional systems and rules. They don't take things at face value, and instead they question, challenge, and dissect every rule, guideline, or structure they come across. To an INTP, rules are just artificial constructs. They are not absolute or sacred, but rather tools created by humans that can often be redefined or bypassed. This mindset enables them to outsmart rules and systems, not by outright defiance, but by finding ways to bend or break them with creative ingenuity. Their dominant cognitive function, introverted thinking or TI, is constantly looking for efficiencies and flaws in any system they encounter. If they see a rule that doesn't make sense or seems counterproductive, they won't hesitate to rethink it, restructure it, or even create an alternative solution that works better. This doesn't mean they break rules just for the sake of it. They simply see rules as starting points, not limitations. Their approach is rooted in logic and deep understanding of how systems function, which allows them to figure out how to navigate or manipulate them in novel ways. INTPs often excel at finding loopholes or exploiting inefficiencies within systems. For example, in a corporate or academic environment, they might see rigid procedures that everyone else blindly follows as ineffective or outdated. And instead of just going along with them, they'll find creative logical ways to bypass or improve them. They might also question assumptions that underpin these systems and restructure their approach to achieve their goals more efficiently. This ability to challenge systems without outright defiance makes them incredibly effective at innovating and streamlining processes in ways that others might overlook. What makes INTPs particularly good at outsmarting rules is their ability to think abstractly and approach problems from angles that others don't even consider. While other people are busy following step-by-step instructions, INTPs are busy thinking 3 steps ahead, anticipating possible outcomes and alternative routes to the same goal. They don't just accept a rule because it's the way things are done. They're constantly looking for smarter, more efficient ways to get things done. For example, an INTP might come across a rule in the workplace that states they have to complete a certain task in a specific time-consuming manner. Rather than blindly following it, they'll look at the task and deconstruct it, analyzing each part to see if there's a way to accomplish the same thing more quickly, more effectively, or with fewer resources. They might even come up with a completely new system or tool to handle the task, sidestepping the old rules and creating an entirely new way of doing things. Number 2. They learn faster and more deeply than most people. INTPs possess a unique intellectual drive that allows them to learn faster and understand more deeply than most people. While many individuals might be content with a surface-level understanding of a topic, INTPs go beyond that. They delve into the underlying principles, concepts, and systems that make everything tick. Their minds are constantly seeking to understand and examine things at a level most people wouldn't even think to explore. At the core of this accelerated learning process is their insatiable curiosity. The moment an INTP becomes interested in something, they immediately dive in headfirst, often obsessively absorbing information from every possible source, whether it's books, articles, podcasts, or online forums. They'll consume knowledge at lightning speed, often digesting complex concepts that would take others weeks or even months to fully comprehend. This deep curiosity is so ingrained in them that they don't just learn to get a passing grade or impress others. They learn because they are genuinely fascinated by the subject matter. This voraciousness for knowledge is complemented by their ability to organize and synthesize information quickly. INTPs don't just memorize facts or repeat what they've learned. They process and internalize the material in a way that allows them to apply it effectively and think critically about it. This means that they not only understand the details, but also see how the pieces fit together and how new knowledge relates to the bigger picture. What sets INTPs apart is their ability to learn deeply and holistically. While others might focus on memorizing information for short-term goals or exams, INTPs immerse themselves in the subject until they've built a comprehensive, interconnected framework. They're always thinking about how new information connects with what they already know, and how they can expand their understanding in unexpected ways. This depth of understanding gives them a level of mastery over a topic that often goes unnoticed by others. Because INTPs don't just regurgitate facts, they truly grasp the essence of what they're learning. INTPs also have the unique ability to make connections across disciplines that allow them to see new possibilities in the things they study. This is because their minds work in an abstract, integrative way, constantly looking for patterns and overlaps between seemingly unrelated subjects. This interdisciplinary approach to learning means that they often find innovative solutions or novel ideas by drawing from multiple fields of knowledge, making them exceptional at problem-solving and creative thinking. Number 3. They make unexpected connections that others miss. One of the most remarkable abilities of INTPs is their ability to make unexpected connections between seemingly unrelated ideas, concepts, or experiences. While most people tend to focus on specific areas of knowledge or thought, INTPs possess an uncanny ability to see patterns and relationships that others overlook, weaving together insights from different fields, disciplines, or perspectives. This gives them the ability to come up with innovative ideas, creative solutions, and groundbreaking approaches to problems, often when everyone else is stuck in conventional thinking. At the core of this skill is the INTP's dominant cognitive function, introverted thinking, or TI, which allows them to deconstruct and reassemble information in highly abstract ways. When presented with new information, an INTP doesn't simply categorize it into neat boxes. Instead, they immediately start associating it with other knowledge they've previously encountered. This means they're constantly linking ideas in their minds, even if those ideas don't appear to have any obvious relationship on the surface. For example, an INTP might take a concept from philosophy, another from science, and a third from psychology, and then combine them in a completely original way to solve a real-world problem. This ability to blend information from different domains allows them to approach problems from unique angles, often resulting in solutions that no one else would think of. It's this unconventional multidisciplinary thinking that gives INTPs their edge in problem-solving and innovation. INTPs are also highly adept at recognizing abstract patterns in the world around them. They can spot connections between events, behaviors, or data points that others would consider unrelated. This ability to connect the dots means that INTPs often have a visionary edge. They can predict trends, anticipate future outcomes, or identify opportunities that others completely miss. While others might be bogged down in the details, the INTP is thinking several steps ahead, seeing how seemingly disconnected ideas fit together in the larger scheme of things. This talent for unexpected connections is one of the reasons why INTPs can sometimes seem a bit quirky or difficult to follow. When they explain their thoughts, they often jump from one idea to another, making connections that others don't immediately understand. But in their minds, these connections make perfect sense. They're simply seeing patterns and relationships that aren't immediately obvious to the rest of the world. In many cases, this ability to link ideas in unexpected ways leads to creative breakthroughs. Whether it's in the arts, science, technology, or business, INTPs have a knack for seeing connections that others don't, which allows them to develop groundbreaking ideas or solutions. This is why many innovators, entrepreneurs, and thinkers who change the world are often INTPs. They have the ability to combine knowledge from diverse fields, creating something entirely new. Even in social situations, INTPs often make unexpected connections between people's behaviors, motivations, and emotions. They may notice patterns in the way people interact and can often predict someone's next move or intention based on a combination of subtle cues and logical deduction. This makes them not just great thinkers, but also excellent strategists who can navigate complex social dynamics with surprising ease. Number 4. They see every flaw in an argument instantly. When it comes to logical reasoning, INTPs are virtually unmatched. While most people focus on surface-level arguments or emotional appeals, INTPs dive straight into the core logic behind an idea, instantly spotting contradictions, weak assumptions, and hidden biases. Their minds work like high-precision analytical machines, effortlessly dissecting statements, breaking them down into their fundamental components, and determining whether they actually hold up under scrutiny. This ability comes from their dominant cognitive function, introverted thinking or TI, which compels them to seek absolute logical consistency. INTPs don't just listen to what people say, they analyze how they say it, the structure of their reasoning, and whether their argument actually follows a valid logical framework. If someone presents an idea based on faulty logic, incomplete data, or emotional reasoning, the INTP will immediately see the flaws, even before the person has finished speaking. What makes INTPs even more dangerous in an intellectual debate is that they don't rely on pre-made arguments or memorized facts. They construct original, highly precise logical responses in real time. While others might struggle to refute a well-prepared argument, the INTP tears it apart effortlessly, showing why it doesn't make sense and exposing its weaknesses with surgical precision. This can be incredibly frustrating for opponents who often find themselves losing debates before they even realize what happened. Another reason INTPs are so hard to argue against is that they don't just attack weak points. They also predict counter-arguments before they happen. Because their minds work in an abstract, pattern-oriented way, they can anticipate how an argument will unfold, making it nearly impossible to outmaneuver them. If someone tries to shift the argument, use rhetorical tricks, or introduce an emotional appeal, the INTP immediately recognizes it and redirects the conversation back to logic and evidence. However, INTPs don't just use this ability to dominate debates. They also use it to refine their own thinking. Unlike many people who stubbornly cling to their beliefs, INTPs constantly challenge their own ideas, testing them for weaknesses and improving them over time. This makes their arguments incredibly solid because by the time they present an idea, they've already ruthlessly eliminated any weak points. These videos will be really helpful for you.